So here's a video of my current steering wheel. It's a Logitech G25, and I'm going to 3D print this adapter I drew up for it. So you can see these 6 protrusions on it here. They lock into the G25 hub. This is the side of the adapter that's going to go facing the existing steering wheel assembly, and this is the back side of it with the recessed screws, and then the new steering wheel will mount flush to that, and these pockets here where the nuts will go that secure it. It's a 5-bolt steering wheel I've ordered. So anyway, I've been having a bit of trouble with this thing. It's not printed right a couple times, so the orientation of the 6 holes and the 5 holes has been getting out of sync. So anyway, we're going to give it a go here. I'm going to do a test print on the printer, and this is how we set it up. We go File, 3D print. We've got it all selected, and we're going to the Cura slicer. We'll say OK. It's going to start up Cura. I've gone through the parameters because I'm printing in PETG, and it's been causing me some grief, so it's tricky to print. So anyway, this is how it's going to appear. I've gone through these settings already, and we go Save to File, and we're going to go Adapter 2, and we're going to save it and overwrite the existing. It's in there, and so it's saved to file. So now what we got to do is I'm going to go and send it to the printer with Octopi, or pick it up on the printer with Octopi. So give me a brief moment and I'll start the printer, and then we'll pull it in there. Okay, so we pulled up Octopi here, and we got the print downloaded and or uploaded, and we're going to go ahead and hit print, and it'll start preparing the temperatures and whatever, get them up to speed here, as we can see right here. And once they're ready to go, it'll start printing, and we'll test and see how we're making out. You can watch this here. I can watch it on my laptop upstairs as well, so nothing's going to happen there until it starts moving. And when it does, we'll go have a look there. So that's just part of the process. It's how we do this. So anyway, here we go. We'll be back with you soon. So this is my little basement hidey hole here. That's where my sim is. My old outdoor toolbox is now my indoor toolbox, and so my wife's on the other side of that wall working, so it could be kind of quiet. This is desk here in downstairs in the storage area here. I'm going to set that PC up on it once I get a new monitor for the gaming rig. And yeah, that's I get some exercise here, and storage area back there, and around here is Geppetto's workshop, another old toolbox for down here now. And this is the printer. It's a Ender 3, and I've done a lot of stuff on it. I bought it primarily to make these pins. These are fuel door pins for 62 Cadillacs. It's a proprietary thing for that year only, and this little eye on them breaks off the stock ones, and so then your fuel door doesn't stay shut. So I get stainless steel springs printed or made for me, and which are a little softer than the original ones and a little easier on them, and they don't rust. I drew that in 3D, and then I can print them. So this is what's been happening. This is the errors we're getting with these. As you can see, the orientation here, this hole of the 5 holes isn't lined up with the top hole of the 6 holes for the G25. That's a problem. So that means the steering wheel won't index. So I've tried it couple times. This one I was trying to run overnight, and it PETG being stringy, it all balled up here, so I had to scrap that print. And once again, this isn't centered on these two holes, so big problem. So this is heating up, getting ready to go. When it does, I'll just run, you know, this far. I'll just run a few layers and see, just to see if it's going to come out oriented or not. And if it doesn't, just like these ones failed, what I did is I made the most recent drawing a solid object, and hopefully it ties all the various components together within that drawing in Fusion. And if that works out, we'll be golden. So I'm going to test this print. I'm going by Grant Steering Wheel's 5-bolt pattern, and I'm not 100% sure if the 5-bolt pattern is going to be right or the same on the steering wheel that's coming. It's supposed to arrive today, so I'll just do a little test print, confirm that it's printing in the orientation. The two bolt patterns are interlocked or locked, and if it is, I'll wait until I get that steering wheel confirm the 5-bolt pattern. If it's right, I'll just start a print from new. If not, I'll have to edit the 5-bolt pattern on the Fusion drawing, and we'll see where we end up. So once this starts printing, we'll come back and have a look and see how it's doing. So the printer started up, and it's starting to print out. So the big circle is just a what this is called a brim, not part of the drawing. And anyway, we'll see where it puts the bolt patterns, if we can get them locked this time around. Just a little patience here. See what it cooks up. We'll know pretty soon. See what we can tell from that so far. I think it's off still. We'll see. See this top one. If it lines up, we'll know. Oh, how's that look? No, can't get the light on it. Yeah, I think it's still skewed a bit. Oh, I don't know, it's hard to tell. It looks fairly close. Anyway, I'm going to let this run for just a little bit. I'll do a little measuring on it here that I can, and we'll see where it ends up, and if it's worth printing this out, or I'm going to have to go back to the drawing and figure out why it's not orienting the bolt patterns. Anyway, that's it for now. Bye. Hello there. It's Dan again. That steering wheel came, so now I've got some accurate dimensions. So that bolt pattern, I was able to measure it, and it's different than the Grant 5-hole, of course. So, and it's metric, so the nuts are a different size. So that's a nice wheel. It's nice wood grain. I don't know if you can see it in there, but and the nice thing is, it said it was, you know, these fellows that make this stuff, I don't know who their marketing department is, but they advertised it as triple chromed steel, and it didn't look like it in the images online, and it turns out it's aluminum, which is perfect because less rotational weight for the force feedback on the G25 to deal with. I'm really happy about that, so that's good. And I kind of suspected it was aluminum just based on the images, because it just didn't look like chrome. And also, you know, you can see the thickness of the spoke. Generally the steel wheels are a little thinner than that, and it was a good indication that it was aluminum. So anyway, back over here, and we'll look at the drawings, the changes. And so this is rendered. It's pretty poor rendering, but so this side with the little protrusions coming up, that is mimicking, I'll hold this out here in front of the camera. Oh, you can't really see it like that, can you? This piece. And this is the hub that goes through the middle of the Logitech wheel, right through those holes. And so this piece here is going to take place of this plastic piece. And so that this surface of it anyway, the adapter will do that. And then when you look at the, so that gets bolted, the surface that's going down gets bolted in. And the recesses here, you see there's recesses for the nuts on the back side, and the steering wheel bolts on this side, and the nuts are captured in there. So that's what we got to print. That print I started the other day. I attempted to let it run overnight, and the PETG balled up and made a bit of a mess when I wasn't there to babysit it. So I'm going to print this tomorrow because it's a 12-hour print or so, or 10 or 12 hours, and I'll want to babysit it. So anyway, that's where we're at. We'll let you know how that goes. And it did orient properly, as I mentioned in the previous clip, that I thought the orientation was not quite there, and it was fine. So if I can save this one in the same manner, print it out, I think we should have a good adapter, and we'll be able to get on with it with this wheel. Another thing on this wheel, I'm going to sneak down here at the camera and just hold it under here. That wiring goes out to these buttons, and I don't know, it's really hard to see. Hang on, maybe I can sneak a look back here. Where are we? Oh, I'm having a tough time with this. Oh yeah, there's the button up there, and that plastic housing guides the wire. There's lots of wire in there, and so I can easily take those buttons and move them out on the spokes. So it should be should work out pretty well. So I should be able to easily use those buttons on the new wheel. Let me see if I can get this back there so it doesn't fall down. There we go. Okay, guys. Anyway, I'll carry on after we get some successful printing going here, and we'll continue this then. Thanks again. Bye. Well, here we are. The steering wheel's installed. It's all the way. Came out really good. It's a nice wheel, so I'll give you a look at it there. And yeah, works really well. So you can see the adapter in there, sort of, just that. And wires running in there. I just, like I say, hot glued them onto the back of the wheel, and the switches are unobtrusive, they don't get in the way, so it works really well. I'll just get down here. Oh, I can't get back far enough. Let me move the seat back. Hang on. Oh, it's all the way back. So you can see my resume and cruise. And it's a good thing I got long fingers. I can still reach those, but if I ever go back to the racing sims and stuff, I'll have to extend those paddles. But for now, it's no big deal because I use that one very seldom. And this one here is look back, and I use my mouse to look around right now. So, you know, if I turn the mouse, I'll move the mouse left radically. It does the same thing as look back, and so I don't use it too much. But anyway, it's nice. I had to raise my monitor up a little bit because this is my viewpoint right here, or actually, yeah, right about there. And this wheel is bigger in diameter. It feels really good. It turns nice and true. There's no, it doesn't wobble. It's straight. It's nice. The wood rim is quite nice. It feels really good. It's nice and fat. It's like got a good heft to it in terms of grip diameter. So. And you can see, you know, the 5-bolt pattern, which is the reason I had to draw my own adapter. I downloaded one for a 6-bolt pattern, but in the end, I think my adapter, this adapter with the exactly mimics the back of the Logitech one, and it has little sort of cup sections that go around the plastic posts that are on the steering wheel hub itself, on the so it locks on better, and there's less, it helps prevent shear, I guess, at the screw locations, buttresses everything up. So it was worth the drawing up my own, building my own. I think is a better hub. That being said, it's a pain in the neck to install. Is you got the wires coming off the wheel, and you've got to get that adapter between the wheel and the wires on the far side of it, the wheel on this side of it, with the wires attached. So if I was to do it again, and note of caution for anybody who's going to do this, I would put quick connects on those wires at the point they go into the hub, and that would just make everything a lot easier. And in fact, I may just do that, or if I ever have a need to take the wheel off, I'm just going to snip those wires and put connectors on them, and that would make life a heck of a lot easier. Because I had to have my wife in here holding the wheel while I'm messing around with the hub and trying to avoid the wires. In the first installation, test installation on it, I pinched one of the fine wires that for one of the buttons inside the hub, and when I bolted it down, it severed the wire. So I had to repair that. So, cautionary tale there. Make life easier for yourself and put quick connects on the wires. But anyway, all in all, I'm really happy with it, and it really adds to the a totally different driving dynamic with that larger diameter wheel. When you're it takes a larger motion, more like in real life, as opposed to the little go-kart steering wheel, and it's much more realistic, more immersive, less sensitive. So a little twitch of the wheel doesn't send you all over the road, whereas the very small steering wheel diameter is very quick and not as realistic. So this is really adds to the immersion effect of the game. Anyway, so that's been it. I guess we went from showing the drawing. I didn't obviously show you how I did the drawing, but there are other tutorials for that. That was Fusion 360. It sent the design to Cura, which is a slicing software that's free. And I'm also using the free version of Fusion 360 and my $300 printer. And so it worked out pretty well. So pretty happy with the settings I finally figured out. I watched tons of videos and articles on printing with PETG, and I tried what people specifically said in various instances, their settings, and I ended up using a hybrid of my own version of what they were all suggesting. So I have bits of this and bits of that, and I ended up with a good print in the end. And I think there's other things I've printed in the past in PLA. I'm going to reprint in PETG, see how that goes. But anyway, that's another story for another day. And I hope you enjoyed this little video, and gives you some inspiration on maybe diving in and changing your wheel, and if not, getting an adapter and for your existing wheel and going to a larger diameter rim, because in particular for American Truck Simulator, and or I haven't played ETS, but European Truck Simulator, I imagine it's the same. The definitely beneficial to your gameplay. It's much more, let's call it realistic. Anyway, thanks again, and bye for now.